Hello, good morning. We are continuing the examples of VHDL code. We have seen the VHDL code for an half adder, full adder, 4s to 1 mux using when else and with select when. Then we have seen the same code for a mux using process statement. I told you that whenever you are writing a VHDL code for a sequential circuit, you have to use a process statement. Okay, now here it is an example of a D flip-flop. A D flip-flop is a sequential circuit or a circuit which depends upon a clock. I have not written the entity over here, but the entity is now very simple. Entity DFF is port clock comma reset colon in std logic D colon in std logic and Q colon out std logic. There will be four things which are declared in the entity of D flip-flop. These four things are clock, reset and Q. These are clock, reset and D. These are the inputs and there is only one output and that is a Q. You can take the output Q bar also. There is no problem. Means in that case you will have the two outputs, that is Q and Q bar. Now how the architecture of this D flip-flop is being written. If you want to write the D flip-flop, then quite obvious you can write in data flow also, but it will be quite very difficult. It is quite very difficult to write this VHDL code in a data flow modeling style. Because what is the working of an D flip-flop? D flip-flop, the working is very simple. Whenever there is a rising edge of clock, whatever the content available on the input D should be given to the output. Else you don't have to give anything to the output and the earlier output will be as it is over there. A very simple, and if you apply a reset, your output should be 0. For such a type of working, when your output is depend on the clock, it is best to use a behavioral modeling style. Here the name to this behavioral modeling style is DFF1. Okay, I can give any name. I told you that earlier also. I can give any name. Architecture DFF1 of D flip-flop is begin, process, clock comma reset, begin. This process is sensitive to clock and reset. If you want your process to be sensitive to the D, then you can write D also. Okay, but it will not make any more difference, because if there is an event on D, nothing will happen unless and until the clock is being received, because your working is below working is a similar type. Okay, the first thing you are written that if reset is 1, then Q is assigned 0. See, 0 is written in single inverted comma. Else if clock tick event and clock is equal to 1, here also the clock is equal to 1 is being written in a single inverted comma. And clock tick event, now I will tell you that tick event is an attribute. Tick event is an attribute. There are different types of attributes are over there. Okay, that this attribute is what? Whenever an event occur on a clock, means either from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 0. Okay, it will written true. Means whatever the thing you are written, that there should be an event on the clock and the value of clock is 1. It will happen only when the clock is changing from 0 to 1. Okay, if the clock is changing from 0 to 1, the event is occurred as well as clock is 1. But suppose that the clock is changing from 1 to 0, the event is occurred but the value of clock is 0. Hence this is not a falling edge, rather clock tick event and clock is equal to 1 represents the rising edge of a clock. Okay, what we have written over here, else if means if reset is not applied, see clearly. If reset is equal to 1, then Q is assigned 0. Means if the reset is 1, there is no doubt that output Q will be 0. Else if means if reset is not applied, then you check the rising edge of clock. Else if clock tick event and clock is equal to 1, then Q is assigned D. No else clause is over there. End F, end process, end D flip flop. Another example of this is you can go for an example of an counter. Here the example is given for a 4-bit counter. Here the example is given for a 4-bit counter. In a counter you will need hardly 3 inputs: reset, clock and mode. This mode is for either you want to go for up count or down count. That is a mode, and reset and clock is as it is. When you apply reset, your count should be 0 0 0, and when you remove reset, it should start counting. Now you can see entity counter is port reset colon in std logic, clock colon in std logic, mode colon in std logic. You try to remember, or in earlier examples I have written A comma B comma C in std logic. Here also you can do the same thing, reset comma clock comma mode in std logic. Like that also you can write, or you can write separate also. And Y colon out std logic vector 3 down to 0. This Y is of 4-bit, hence I have written std logic vector 3 down to 0. Now the working is shown in next slide. See, architecture behavioral of counter is, now I need one signal is to be declared, and that signal is a C out, and it is of 4-bit. Hence it is being declared in the declarative part of an architecture. That is a signal count std logic vector 3 down to 0. It is after before keyword begin and in the architecture. Now process is being written. This process is dependent upon clock, reset and mode. Begin. Now the working of counter. Now how the counter will work? If reset is equal to 1, then C out is assigned 0 0 0 0. It is written in double inverted comma. Means whenever you apply a reset, the value of C out will be 0 0 0. Else if means if reset is not over there, else if clock tick event and clock is equal to 1. I already explained clock tick event and clock is equal to 1 represents the rising edge of clock. Okay, means whenever there is a rising edge of clock, then you have to check the mode. If mode is equal to 1, then count is assigned count plus 1. That is a C out, C out is assigned C out plus 1. Else if mode is not 1, then count C out as C out minus 1. That is a, you may say, down counting. Means with mode is equal to 1 there is an up counting, and with mode is equal to 0 it is a down counting. End F. Now this is if for mode. This is if for, this is a this end if is for this if, and this end if for this reset one, that is this if. End process. Now outside process, your output is Y. Your output is Y, and Y is assigned C out. End behavioral. You may say that why I have not used, why to increment, why I use that signal C out over here. The purpose of using signal C out is that you can see that Y I have defined as a out, and if you see the statement after mode is equal to 1, that statement is C out is assigned C out plus 1. C out is written on the both the side of statement. If you want to write anything to the both the side of statement, then it must be in as well as it must be out. Okay, and in that respect I can't use Y in the both side because my Y is out only. Hence I need a intermediate signal to be declared, and I use the same technique that I used a signal in architecture. Below architecture I declared one signal and I use it as a temporary signal to increment, and the same signal value is continuously assigned to Y because it is a process statement, and in your because the language is concurrent, that is, language is concurrent, and it will executed concurrently, means whenever the process is being executed at the same time, Y will be assigned the same value. Okay, here we will see end this three example, that is counter example.